it's evolved from RC, it's evolved from RC to WebDriver, and there are various other components as well. So let me give you a brief background. Initially, when Selenium came into the market, there were three components in Selenium. One was known as IDE, one was known as RC, and another one as GRID. Okay, now Selenium is a browser automation tool. It can only automate your browsers. It is not for your desktop-based applications. Alright, now IDE as a tool in Selenium only worked on Mozilla, and it has got various other drawbacks as well. First and primary drawback is that it only works on Mozilla. Secondly, it never generates any reports and all, nothing is generated. Okay, and so that's the major drawback, right? And if you have got around 2000 test cases to automate and you have complex scenarios and all, it's very difficult to implement on IDE. Okay, so they brought something known as RC into the picture. RC worked on multiple browsers. It worked on multiple browsers like RC worked on Mozilla, right? It worked on Chrome, fine. It worked on IE, right? So this is the primary advantage of RC. I hope everybody is able to hear me, because one of the joinees is saying that she's not able to. Okay, okay. So now RC as a tool, it also worked on Safari and other browsers, right? But the major advantage is that you can implement RC in one of the programming languages, like you could implement it in Java, C Sharp, Perl, PHP, right? There are other languages as well, right? Like Ruby, fine. Okay. Now RC as a tool had a lot of drawbacks as well. Okay. First, and the primary drawback was that RC had a server which had to be started and stopped again and again when working with RC. So it used to be a very tiresome thing, because many times the server never used to get started. Okay, so people started using RC. Google also started using RC, and they all saw those drawbacks. And there were some commands which were not at all possible in RC through direct. If you give direct command, something never used to happen in RC. So there were drawbacks in RC. Okay, so people came up with, in 2011, they came up with something known as WebDriver. Okay, WebDriver also had the same features. It worked on all the browsers like Mozilla, Chrome, IE. It had all the languages supported. Fine, languages supported means you can write the WebDriver code in any one of these languages. Okay, but the problem is, don't think that if your website is made in Java, then you have to use Selenium with RC with Java or WebDriver with Java. It is not like that. Okay, it is independent of the language. Even if your website is made in PHP, you can use Selenium with Java. Okay, and RC evolved into WebDriver. Okay, now GRID. Okay, GRID, it has evolved into something known as GRID 2. Now what is GRID? GRID, it helps you to run your test cases parallelly. You can create a central machine, distribute your test cases on other machines, and run them parallelly so that you can execute them faster. Okay, GRID 1 was with RC, GRID 2 is supporting RC and WebDriver both. Okay, and in between you have out here IDE. IDE has just evolved in the versions, no great change in that, right? So basically what I want to tell you is that Selenium as a tool has got a lot of components inside it. Okay, and we're going to have this training for 4 to 5 weeks, right? So in 4 to 5 weeks, in 4 to 5 weeks, it's not possible for me to cover everything, all these aspects and all these components and all. So it becomes really tough. Okay, so in this course, what I'll be covering is I'll be covering Java, I'll be covering WebDriver. Okay, I'll be covering frameworks, how to work with frameworks like hybrid framework or data driven framework or page object model and all. So in a nutshell, this is what we are going to cover in the course. All right. Uh, right. Now, why don't I teach RC? Because most of the people they do not. Okay, fine. I'll actually mute this thing. I'm sorry for that. I'll mute my Skype. Okay, fine. Now, most of the people they do not know Java. That is the first problem, right? Because Java is very important. Java is the background. Java is the basis. Without Java, you cannot do anything. Okay. Now, some people they try to skip Java. They think that fine. If I skip Java, if I directly move over to WebDriver or framework and all and other stuff, I'll be able to do it. Okay. Believe me, you'll never be able to do it without Java language. Okay. So the first thing, right? First thing which is there when you have to learn Java is that you have to download Eclipse. Okay, you can go to Eclipse downloads over here. This is the link. Hold on, I'll share the link. This is the link. I'll share the link over WebEx chat with everybody. And you can get Java Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers depending on your Windows version, whether it's 32-bit or 64-bit. You can download it. Okay, click on this thing and you can simply save this file. I also need the latest version, so I'm just getting it. So that's about Eclipse. Fine. Hold on. This is Eclipse. Okay, in my machine I have it. When you download Eclipse, it comes as a RAR file. You just need to extract the RAR file and you'll get this Eclipse folder. Okay, Eclipse is the editor for Java language. Okay, for example, you must have studied C language. In C we have Turbo C editor, right, in which we used to write our C code. Similarly, Eclipse is the editor for Java language. It comes as a bundle. You don't need to install it. Just download and extract the folder. You'll get eclipse.exe. You can double click on it and it will start. Okay. So there's a catch here. There's a catch here. Everybody must be having Java installed on his system because you have joined this meeting. This meeting it requires Java to be installed. Okay. But hold on. Just a minute. Yeah. But if you have a 64-bit machine, which almost everybody has these days, please install JDK as well, Java Development Kit. Okay, you'll get it over here, JDK. So this is the link to install JDK. In case you have a 64-bit machine, I request you to install JDK as well from this link. Otherwise, Eclipse will not start. Okay, so what we have covered so far is that Selenium, it is not just one tool. There are various components of Selenium. There are various components like Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver. Okay, then there is IDE, then there is GRID 1, which runs your test cases parallelly in what do you say? GRID 1 is with RC and GRID 2 is with RC and WebDriver. Okay, and just hold on, there are a few questions being asked. I think I should answer them. Okay, no questions. Fine. Now, if you have questions in this training, how do you ask me? I'll just clarify that. You can use WebEx to ask your questions. You can move your mouse on the top of this window. You will get unmute tag or unmute button over there. You can unmute yourself, speak and ask a question. In case you don't have a mic, you can use the WebEx chat. There will be a chat icon. Just move your mouse on the top. A menu will appear in that. There will be a chat icon. You can use chat. Or you can ask me a question on Skype. My Skype ID is same as my website name, that is QTP Selenium. Okay, so that's the thing, right? Ramya is asking a question. Will you give at least some basic concepts of RC? Ramya, to be very honest, I will not be giving any basic concepts because it's not just like basic concepts, right? Once you go into it, you have to go into it thoroughly. Okay, I'll be giving you, look, what I'll be doing is, this is my website. Okay, this is my website. If you go to Selenium tutorial section, hold on, right, you will see approximately 43 modules on this website, total 43 modules. So every module has a video associated with it. You will get a login. Okay, you will get a login into my website. With that login, you can just guys, 2 minutes. Just I'll be giving you the videos on all these modules. Okay, you can log in and watch these videos. The videos will have complete information on Selenium RC as well. Okay, I have covered everything in the videos. The videos are over 130 hours, so they are very elaborate. You will be getting a lifetime access to these videos along with the course. Okay, so you can actually learn through these videos as well. But in this course, I'll be covering Java and basically WebDriver. Okay, the first 21 modules. Right. So before I start with Java language and before I move further, is there anybody having any questions regarding the course, regarding the uh, regarding Selenium or any other topic? Okay. Is this three components enough? Look, the question being asked is, are these components more than enough for learning Selenium and working on it and clearing the interview? Yes, these are the only components in Selenium. Okay, now I have seen people clearing interviews only by learning WebDriver as well, because not every company will ask you RC or IDE or GRID. GRID is still important. Okay, if you learn this combination WebDriver and GRID, you will make a very good uh, background and you will be market ready. Okay, nearly you can apply for 70 to 80% of the jobs which are there. RC is used by the companies which are, you know, which are old, which have already implemented Selenium. They don't want to switch from RC to WebDriver. Those companies, they use RC. Okay. Vinod is asking a question. Do you have doubts clarifying session on daily basis? Look, Vinod, I am online on Skype. Okay, you can ping me. I'm online after the class. So if anybody wants to ping me, he can. Right? Will we be covering? No, BDD I am not covering in this training, but in the recorded videos which I'll be giving you, BDD will be covered, like fitness, cucumber and all, it is covered. Okay, because not everybody wants it, right? Not everybody wants it. What is the end date of the course? Approximately 4 to 5 weeks from now. Okay. Okay, is there any live project with the course? Yes, I will take up projects. I will take up lots of examples in a very practical way. You will surely like it. Okay, but I'll be starting from the very basics first. If we know WebDriver, can we work on RC? I heard. You know what? The question is, if we know WebDriver, can we easily work on RC? I will answer this. If you know Java, then you can work on RC or WebDriver. It's not a big deal. Okay, so the important thing is Java language. This is the mistake which people do. Just learn Java language and you will be able to work on RC, WebDriver, anything. Okay, other thing, if you compare RC and WebDriver, there is no similarity. Both of them are completely different. People who have worked on RC for 10 years, when they look at WebDriver, they are not able to figure out what WebDriver is doing. Okay, but I see you will be very busy. I can see from people. Yeah, people keep on pinging me, but I do respond back to everyone. Okay, will you be covering? Yeah, I can do that. The basics of grid. The only problem in grid is that it's very difficult to teach it online. That is how to run on multiple PCs parallelly. In the videos I have done that, but if in an online class, giving a practical exposure to grid is little tough. But in the videos I have done that. I have done it in a very good way. Okay. Recorded session would help, and that's it. Fine. So, Vinod, I also have a doubt clearing forum where you can post your questions. All the registered members are on that forum as well. Okay. So, any other question from anybody? Anything? Do we get the videos for the classes? Yes, Yogita, you'll be getting the videos for the classes as well. Yes, I am recording the sessions. You'll get the recordings on your email ID. Okay, fine. Yeah. So fine then, let's start. Okay. When you start Eclipse, fine. This is my Eclipse. I can just create a shortcut on my desktop as well. Yeah. When you start Eclipse, you'll get a window like this, Workspace Launcher. Okay. This will have a path. This path will tell you the place where you want to save all your code. Fine. So I'll make a new path over here. I'll make a path in this. I'll make a new folder, and in that folder you can make another folder. I'm using a different PC today. Hold on. Fine. So this will be the location where I'll be storing all my projects. Okay. When I click on OK, Eclipse will start. Hold on, it will take some time. Okay. Now, Eclipse as a tool, it is also having lot of features. It is not just used for Selenium. It is used for Java development as well, but we can use it for Selenium as well. Fine. This will be the welcome screen. You can close the welcome screen and you'll get a panel like this. In this panel, there will be three parts. One is over here, one is out here, and one is at the bottom. All the code and all you have to write will be written at this location. The left hand panel, you will have all the projects over here, and at the bottom you will see the output. Okay, so this is a brief overview about how Eclipse will work. Fine. Now let's start with basic Java. Look, I'm not going to jump into Selenium directly. I'll tell you about Java, then I'll tell you parallelly about Selenium. Okay. Now you have, because there are people in this training who are from no background, who are not so comfortable. Okay. So first, let me make a new Java project. You can make a Java project by clicking on File, New, Other, and go to Java, and you will get Java project over here. Okay. You give the project name like I'll call it day 1. Okay, and finish it. Right now in this day 1 project over here, there will be two things. If you expand the day 1 project, source folder and JRE system library. Okay, if you right click on the project, hold on, it's kind of hanged. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me at any time. Okay, if you right click on the project and go to the properties of the project, you will see this path in the resource. Right, I'll again repeat, right click, go to the properties. You'll see this path. This path will be the same path which I had created while creating a workspace. If you copy this path and go to the location, physical location, then you will see that day one project is out here. Okay, this day one project is also visible inside Eclipse. All right, now hold on. Now in the source folder, if you open this day one, you will have lot of folders: dot settings, bin, source, class path, project. Okay, out of these all, only source folder is visible in Eclipse. Okay, I'll tell you about other folders as well as we proceed with the course. Fine. Source folder is the one in which we will be keeping all our Java programs. Okay, I'll right click on the source folder and go to new class over here. New class, class means a Java file. Technically class means a Java file. I'll create a new class called as say sample.java. You give the name of the class here and make a checkbox, make this checkbox click public static void main. Okay, click on finish and this sample.java file will be created. Okay, hold on, I'll just increase my font size so that you are able to see. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I increased text editor. It should be text font. Right. I hope you are able to see this very clearly now. Okay. So, all right. Now, right. This is the first line, public class sample. Okay. What is public? What is static over here? What is void? Right. You'll get to know all these things. Okay. But it will take time. Right. The first mistake which people they do when they learn Selenium is that they don't focus on Java. They don't focus on the concepts of object-oriented programming. Fine. Now, many times people they come to me and tell me that there is no documentation for Selenium. There is no online help for Selenium. What do I do? Look, documentation is present. Okay. If you go to the official website of Selenium, seleniumhq.org. This is the official website of Selenium. Then, if you go to the download section, okay, you will get a Java doc link over here. I'll give you this link. If you go on this link on the Webex chat, I'll give this to everyone. Okay, if you go to the Java doc section over here on this link, this is nothing but the documentation, the architecture of Selenium. Okay, but it is not easy to understand like this. To understand this, you have to learn Java. You have to learn the object oriented principles. Okay, once you have done that, you can actually go forward and work with Selenium very easily. So this is also like public, like what is static. So once I cover the concepts of object oriented programming, which I will not do right away, right, you will be able to understand everything. Okay, now what the static is, void is, just accept it as it is for time being, right? Later on I'll tell you. Okay, so just accept this code as it is. So all code will be written over here. Okay, if you have studied C language, then in C language also there is a main function. Similarly, in Java there is a main function in which the control comes up for the first time when you execute your program. Suppose I write here system.out.println hello world. Okay, system.out.println is the command in Java to print something. Okay, the shortcut is click just type SYSO and then hit Control space bar. Okay, if you do this, this is Control plus space. Fine. If you type SYSO, hit Control space, you will get system.out.println written, and you can print anything over here like this. And if you have to run your code, there is a button on the top. This button over here, this is the button, right? You click on this and this will execute your code. Fine. You can also right click on the sample.java file and go to this thing, run as Java application, and this will also execute the file. The output will be visible in console inside Eclipse. Right now, look, the thing is, I'm assuming at least you guys know what an integer is, what if statement is, what a for loop is. So I'm assuming that you know this much. Is there anybody who is not knowing what int, integer, byte, string, if statement, for loop is? Is there anybody in this training? Is there anybody who is not at all aware of all these things? I'm hoping you are aware of it, right? So if you are not aware, if you are not so confident, right, go to my site qtpselenium.com. Over here in under Selenium tutorial, I have kept the first two videos, training video 1 and training video 2 and training video 3 as well. They are open for everybody. You can play them and you can learn all these things, right, about loops and all, everything, functions. And, okay, so I'm assuming basic things that you know the basics of a programming. What I want to focus is on the concept of object oriented programming. Fine. Now, first of all, I executed this file. These things get printed. In Java language, as I told you, this is the source folder, the physical location where the code is lying, right? Inside the source folder, you will have sample.java file. This will be your sample.java. Okay. Now, if you go to bin folder, you will have sample.class file. Even if you try to open this class file, you will not be able to see anything inside it. It's encoded, right? Every Java file is converted to a class file. Not able to see your screen. Vinod, are you able to see my screen or you are not able to see the screen? Is everybody able to see my screen? Okay. Might be some delay or lag in between, right? In online class, this thing can happen sometimes, very rarely. Okay. So what I mean to say is that if you are making in Java language a file called as x.java, that file at runtime when you run the program will be converted to x.class file, and the class files, they are found inside the bin folder. The Java files, they are found inside the source folder. Okay. If I create a new class, another class over here under the source folder called as, say, hello world.java. Okay, hold on. And inside it, the main function, I write system.out.println hello world. I run the code, it prints hello world. Fine. And if I go to the source folder now, the physical location, you will see two Java files, and in the bin folder you will see two class files. So the class file is generated automatically. Fine. Why am I telling you about class file? Okay. This is because suppose you have a client who wants the code and you don't want to give him the Java files. So what you give him are the class files because he cannot open them, right? They are having some machine language in them. Okay. Now in this class file, suppose you have a project in which you have around 1000 class files or 10,000 class files. So how will you deliver 10,000 class files to your client so that he can execute these class files? These class files are executables. They are similar to exe files found on Windows. Okay, class files are executable files. Fine. Now, right. Okay. Now, how do you give your client 10,000 class files? The simple answer can be fine, Ashish, go and put all the files in a single file, say a zip file, zip all the class files and give it to the client. Fine. In Java, we don't create a zip file, we create a file known as jar file. Look, these concepts, they are not just for Selenium, they'll be helpful for you for other things as well. Say, for example, tomorrow you want to learn SOAP UI. Right, in the Java client API of SOAP UI, you again need this knowledge of Java, the concept of jar files and all. So it's the generic knowledge which I'm providing you right now. Okay, this is not just specific to Selenium, right? So in Java, we call the zip file a file known as a jar file. What a jar file contains? It contains lot of class files inside it, right? Fine. Now, taking a practical example, what happens when you install Java in your machine? In this project, this GRE system library out here, what is this? This is actually GRE system library out here is actually Java which is installed on your machine. This is that GRE system library. If you expand this, there's a question being asked. If we just give yes, the question being asked is basically, can I execute this class file standalone? Can I execute this? Yes, you can do that. You have to do it through command prompt. Okay. Yes, you can execute the test cases without Java files as well. You can make your test cases in Java. That's what we do, right? In Ant and all. That's what we do when we deploy our code on the servers. Okay. So right. So this thing out here is Java which is installed on your machine, GRE system library. Okay. If you expand this, you will get what you will get. You will get nothing but set of jar files. These jar files, they get downloaded onto your system when you actually download or install Java. Okay, this is your complete Java language. So Java is nothing but a set of jar files. Each jar file, if I expand each jar file, will have lot of internal class files inside it. I can use these class files, right? For example, if I write over here date d equals to new date, I cannot initialize it. Hold on. And I import java.util.date. Actually, I don't want to take this right now. Or hold on, let's take a simple example because many people will get confused. If I write over here string x equals to Selenium class. Now what is string? String is an internal class inside Java, right? If I put the control, if I hit the control button of my keyboard, and I move my mouse over the string, this will look like a link. If you click on this link, this thing will open string.class. Then you click on this icon over here, link with editor. Okay, click on this and it will open up. It will show where string.class file is there. So string is nothing. String is nothing but it was a Java file initially which got converted to a class file and gets downloaded on our system when we install Java. This is the string.class file out here. Okay. Question is that we have, just a minute, let me read the question first from Sumedha. If we have files like file1.class, file2.class, all these have some code in the bin. Yes. When we send these files to the client, it is not expected to have the same code in the bin for them. No, not really. You simply send the class files to the client. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of code. String is a class inside Java language. That's the thing. It's not a variable type in Java. Int is a variable type. If I write over here, int I equals 200, integer is a variable. Whatever is in the maroonish red color over here is a variable. Okay, but string is an internal class inside Java language. Or you talk about date. Date is also an internal class. This is date, which represents your system date or server date, right? So where did all these classes come from? These classes, internal classes, they came up from Java. And when did Java come onto your system? Java came onto your system in form of jar files when you actually installed it. Okay, so now what about Selenium? How do you bring in Selenium in this project? You brought in Java in this project. When you create the project, Java library is configured by default inside your project. Okay, now how does Selenium comes into the project? Okay, now Selenium guys also, they did nothing. They never created a executable for WebDriver. Okay, there is no executable for WebDriver. When you go to seleniumhq.org, when you go to this website, seleniumhq.org, out here under the download section, you have this download link. Okay, this is for the client language client version. This is basically WebDriver, Java version of WebDriver. So you have this download link for the Java version. When you click on this download link, nothing but, hold on, I'll tell you what gets downloaded is this will get downloaded. Selenium, hold on. You will have this current version, Selenium Java 2.33.0.zip will be downloaded. Okay, when you download Selenium, nothing but a zip file gets downloaded. If I right click on the zip file and I select this, extract to Selenium 2.330, and you open this, this has got nothing but these two jar files. Okay, along with that there is a libs folder. Inside it there are many other jar files. So Selenium as a tool, it's not available as an executable or something. There are jar files for Selenium. Each jar file contains a lot of class files which are made by people who made Selenium. You have to use those classes to work with Selenium. For example, you are using a string class which is part of the Java language. Okay. Similarly, there are many other classes which are available inside these jars which you have downloaded. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So you have to import these jars in your current project in order to work with Selenium. What is the difference if we run on server? Look, run on server. If you right click on it, you will get the option as run on server. Look, run on server is not used by you. Okay, it is used by developers when they develop some web application using Eclipse. You don't have to use this. Okay. Now, as I was telling you, you will have to import the jar files which you downloaded for Selenium into Eclipse. Okay, you can go to day one properties, and how to import them is through this link Java build path, and under the libraries you will see GRE system library already installed in your system. I'll repeat again, right click, go to the properties, under Java build path you will see the libraries tab. In this, GRE system library is already present with these jar files. Along with that, you click on add external jars. This button, you have to add the external jars of Selenium in this project to make this project Selenium enabled. Right now, you go here to the location where you have stored your Selenium jar files. These are the two jar files. Include them, and don't forget to include the jar files inside the library as well. I'm sorry. Inside the library directory, there will be other jar files which you have to include. So include the jars in library as well as these two jar files. Do not skip any. Click on OK, and in your project you will have reference libraries. In this reference libraries, you will have nothing but the jar files of Selenium. Now you can use the internal classes of these jar files to work with Selenium. This is how you configure Selenium. Selenium is never installed. There is no exe for Selenium WebDriver. Okay. Similarly, there are separate set of jar files for RC. For RC as well, what you do, you include the jar files in your project. That's it. Only thing is, WebDriver jar files are separate, RC jar files are separate. Okay. Now, once you have all these jar files in your system, you can start working with Selenium. But to start work with Selenium, you need to know the concept of object-oriented programming, because the architecture of Selenium. This is the download link. This is the Javadoc link. Javadoc link tells you the documentation. Right. As per the documentation, the complete architecture is object-oriented. Okay. So you have to learn OOPS first. So I'll stop here. I'll answer some of your questions. Right. Tomorrow I'll start with OOPS. I'll tell you how to create objects of basic classes which are present in the Selenium API, how to work with various drivers, various browsers and all. Right. So firstly, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any questions regarding the course, regarding the class, regarding Selenium as a tool. Any questions from your side?
Ashish, whatever we have downloaded from the Selenium website is for WebDriver, the jar file.
Yes.
And we also get the separate jar files for the RC.
RC I have not included it. For RC there are certain separate set of jar files. If you go to Google and you just type download Selenium RC jars, so yeah, this is the one. No. You know what? For RC, they have the standalone jar file. This one. This contains both RC and WebDriver. Okay, you can also get this. Yeah. Okay, hold on. There are a lot of questions being asked. If I move the jar files from the location in the drive, yes, don't do that. Okay, if you move the jar file which you have included in Eclipse from this location to some other location, your project will start giving you errors. Okay. Yes, Rami, I'll give you that. You can ping me on Skype. I'll give you Swati. What are the topics you are going to cover tomorrow? I'll be covering object-oriented programming. Okay. Primarily, what I'll be covering is basically video 3 from my website and some parts of video 11.
Hi,
So
Ashish.
yeah, tell me.
Ashish, I want to know that at what level I will have to learn Java first.
Look, you have to learn core Java and you have to learn it in a good fashion. Okay. Uh, to be honest, there is no shortcut. Okay, you have to learn and you have to be proficient in Java.
Okay.
But these videos, they'll certainly help you out. Tomorrow I'll be covering parts of training video 3, then training video 11, how to manage different browsers and all.
So with the help of these videos, we can learn Java, which is required for the Selenium.
Yes. Apart from these videos, you don't need to refer anything. These videos, they are more than enough.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
We need to put additional effort to? Yes, Sumedha, you have to put in additional efforts. The videos are good enough. They are more than enough. Okay, they over 130 hours. What about arrays and functions? Won't you? I'll cover that. That's what I'm telling you, right, guys? When you go to my website, just watch the first 2 videos and come to the class tomorrow. Right? It covers arrays, functions, and all everything. Look, these things are something which are very, very basic things. Half the people might be knowing these things, half the people might not be knowing these things. So just watch the first 2 videos if you're not so comfortable with Java and come to the class. So is there any option that I copy these jar files to Eclipse so that such external things can be avoided? No, no, Shashank, there is. You have to get them from the hard drive. Yes, I'll cover Selenium topics tomorrow. I'll cover how to work with the various drivers and how to introduce. Basically, I want to cover OOPS first, object-oriented programming. So tomorrow I'll cover that, and then I'll tell you how object-oriented programming is used in Selenium. Yogita, with time that will come to you. I'll tell you within class how to debug your projects and programs and how to eliminate errors from your projects. Yeah. For tomorrow, do we have to download these jars? Yes, you can download these jars. Okay. Also, I tell you one thing. Right now, things are very simple. Okay. Later on, when we start studying concepts like WebDriver, this JUnit or TestNG framework, and we build the data-driven scripts. Okay. So things will not be so simple. Okay, so what I demand or I recommend is don't just look into the class. If you're serious enough to learn this tool, go every day and practice whatever I am teaching. Okay, that will help a lot. How many classes will you take in Java language? I'll take this is not just about Java. I teach Java and parallelly I teach Selenium, how Java is used in Selenium. It's not that first I complete Java and then I complete. It's not like that. I take them parallel. Okay, because you can ping me at 9 a.m. IST. I'm online after that till around 10 o'clock in the night. My Skype ID same as my website name, that is QTP Selenium. Right? Yes, but the meeting is going to get over. Yeah. Anything else? Nothing. Okay. So, all right, fine. I'll just end up the meeting. Yes, only first 21 people are allowed. I have not kept more than, sorry, 25. I have not, because it really becomes difficult for me if say 50 people join in or 40 in the free sessions, then it becomes very difficult for me to also manage them, right? Answer the queries and questions. So that's why. Even in the paid training as well, I don't take more than 25. Where can we find the recordings? I'll email you the recordings. Okay. I don't take. What happens is more than 25 people are there. I don't accept the payment from the 26th person. Okay, I don't accept it. Right. So fine. If you want to join the training, okay, fine. What if I want to join the training? You can contact me from my website, qtpselenium.com. You can go to this website. There's a contact trainer link over here. You can click on that and you can fill out this form and you can click on submit query. You can send the message that you want to join the training. Okay, you'll get the details. Okay, if you in case you are interested, go to the contact trainer section of the website and you can just drop me any message from there. Okay, so fine then. All right. Thank you.